Hello, I'm Gordon Criswell, and I'm here with Mayor Alvey to talk with him in a conversation about some of the most pressing issues that he's facing as he seeks a second term as our Mayor CEO. Mayor, welcome, and thank you for joining us today. COVID has impacted all of our lives in so many different ways. Can you tell us or tell the audience how you as mayor has been dealing with all of the issues around COVID, the pandemic, and what steps have you and the governing body taken to keep our community safe?
Yeah, the past 2 years, again, with normal issues we face, like around economic development or taxation or providing quality of life, services for quality of life. We've also had the extra load of the death of Mr. Floyd and our response to that, and then of course the pandemic. But in regards to the pandemic, it kind of hit everybody, head on. And at the very beginning, there wasn't a lot of information available to us. It was this new virus. They'd seen it in China, and then they were starting to see massive spread in England and in Italy. And then in our country, it was the state of Washington and then New York City. And so in a way, we had some time to see what was happening in those places so we could see what the virus would do and how you might try to stop the spread of the virus and really protect people. We had like a 2 to 3 week lookout, because what was happening in Washington, actually the first outbreak in Wyandotte County started, we think, in a nursing home owned by the same company in Washington. So it came here, but we were able to see what other cities were facing and how fast that virus could spread and how much damage it could do. And we could see how much resources we need to pull together. So it was just a very rapid developing situation, not a lot of information at our hands. So we had to come together. And so the first thing I did is we called together a collaborative call of UG administration, of our health department, our police, our fire, our EMS, emergency management, the leaders of the schools across the county, the superintendents of Piper and Bonner and Turner and KCK, the president of KCK Community College, the president of Donnelly College, our social service providers, mental health, all these groups, we had to pull them together, the leadership, so that they could come to us with the questions that they were getting from the people they serve, and that we could get information out to them and also problem solve with them. We had to come together because no one really knew where this was going and how to work it. Coming together in a collaborative effort really allowed us to stay out in front of it. And we empowered our health department to make the moves necessary to provide the maximum protection for our people. So that collaborative effort, we met every day for months, you recall. Yes. And we're still meeting regularly because it's not over yet. We also convened, we knew this was how this was affecting businesses. We needed to call business leaders in. How are you handling COVID in your store or in your restaurant? What kind of resources do you need? What seems to be successful in how you're doing things? Those are all the things we pulled together the business community to try and solve. And then because some of the main spread was happening in our churches, I convened a collaborative call of the pastors and with the health department and said, look, this is what we know about it. This is what we need to do. We need your help to get the word out to your congregants. They can bring their questions to you. You can bring them to us. Those collaborative calls probably was the most important thing we did. It allowed us again to stay out in front of it because communication was key. We don't have a newspaper, that's widely circulated. They don't have this. We have some, but they're not covered. Kansas City Star doesn't cover us, right? So we had to get that information out right to the people and grab that information right from the people so we could solve problems. So KCK in Wyandotte County is known throughout the metro area as really being the lead county in taking this on, really going after it and saying, what is the virus doing? Look at the virus, let's not politicize it, let's just stop this virus. And we were very aggressive, I think, taking on the virus. If anything, people would argue that we were too aggressive. And I would say, well, that's probably right. You have to, in my opinion, you err on the side of caution. If you err on the side of laxity, I think that would have meant more sickness and death. And as I tell people, when I went to bed at night, I had to ask myself, did I do everything I could today to protect our people? And frankly, my conscience is clear. Take a clear, straightforward look, honest, straightforward look at the problems, like COVID. What is it doing? How is it moving? How do we stop it? What are the resources? Who needs to be a part of this? And do that kind of thing, and then you make progress. If you don't do that, if you don't take an honest, straightforward look and get caught in a bunch of other stuff, people will die. And we just couldn't let that happen.